They say God is love, the kind of love that never gives up, that reaches down into our softly deepest darkness, that holds us when no one else does. But then there's this terrifying idea we've all heard about: hell, a place of torment, of separation, of hopelessness. And for many, the question quietly aches. If God really is love, why would he even allow such a place to exist? It's not a question of theology. It's not about religion. It's about the heart. It's about trying to make sense of a God we've been told loves us, yet allows something so devastating. Let's talk about it. Not to argue, not to preach, but to wonder, to reflect, to ask what kind of love we're really talking about and what kind of freedom comes with it. Let's start with something simple. Real love always comes with a choice. Imagine this. You're in a relationship. The person says they love you, but they don't let you speak to anyone else. They make every decision for you. You're not allowed to leave. Is that love? Or is that control disguised as affection? We know the answer. Love can't be forced. It can't be programmed. And maybe, just maybe, that's where the story of God and hell begins. Because if God is love, then he cannot force anyone to love him back. He can't force you to stay. Love, by its nature, creates the possibility of rejection, and rejection comes with consequences. Not because God wants those consequences, but because real freedom means real choices. And every real choice creates a real path. Think of a father, a good one. He raises his child with love, gives them everything he can: guidance, shelter, safety. He teaches them right from wrong. But the child grows up, and one day they choose to walk away, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. They turn their back on their father. They walk into a life that's destructive. He pleads, he warns, he reaches out, but they say no, again and again. The father doesn't stop loving. He waits by the door, but he won't chain them inside the house, because that's not love. That's not how love works. Now imagine this same father watching his child spiral into pain, knowing he could stop it, but only by taking away their freedom to choose. Would that still be love? Here's the part that's hardest to accept. Maybe hell isn't God's punishment. Maybe it's the echo of a door we chose to close. What if hell isn't a fiery pit made for vengeance, but a soul's reality when it chooses total separation from the source of love itself? Because if God is love, then separation from him, total eternal, would feel like hell. Not because he sent us there in anger, but because we walked far enough away and refused every call to come home. And here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. What if God allows hell? Not because he's cruel, but because he's that loving. Loving enough to never force us to stay. Loving enough to let us walk away, even if it breaks his heart. Because the truth is, a God who forces you into heaven isn't love. A God who gives you the freedom to choose, even if it means you choose separation. That is love, in its most painful, most powerful form. So maybe the real question isn't, if God is love, why does he allow hell? Maybe the question is, a lulling that gives us that much freedom. The freedom to say yes, the freedom to say no, the freedom to walk away, and the freedom to walk back, as long as we're still breathing. What kind of love is that? A love that doesn't trap, a love that doesn't force, a love that lets you leave and still waits at the door. So I'll leave you with this. If you had total freedom, no fear, no pressure, would you still choose love? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Not to debate, but to wonder together.